So I'm really excited to be joined here with Michelle. Michelle has just been through the 5 day challenge, and I'm going to ask her some questions so she can share her experience and you can get excited for what is yet to come. So, Michelle, do you mind telling us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, a little bit about your background?
Hello, I'm Michelle. I'm 45 and I'm a part-time teacher. I've worked in teaching the last too many years, and I have a 2-year-old son, hence why I'm now part-time. I live in Cheshire, and my background with all this is always used to like going to the gym. Uh, did a lot of restrictive dieting and had my baby and realized that that is just not going to work for me anymore.
That's super interesting. So, Michelle, tell us how you found out about the challenge. How did you get involved in the 5 day challenge?
It came up on Facebook, and I read through it and I thought, wow, this sounds really good. And then I checked out your Instagram account and was pretty much blown away by that and thought, this is, scientific. Aileen is a doctor, which is amazing. And, it is not another fad diet. And goodness me, she's talking about eating chocolate and crisps and enjoying food with your children. And that really sold it to me, definitely. So I was really excited for the 5 day challenge and definitely wanted to find out a lot more about it.
Cool. So now that you've been through the challenge, tell us a little bit about maybe some of the things you've learned or some of the big epiphanies that you had.
Okay, so the kind of diets that I've done in the past tended to be really restrictive. No cups of tea. When we saw the plan and it was, oh yes, you can have a cup of tea, I was like, thank goodness for that. I need my cuppa in the morning. And I just realized that there wasn't any silly ingredients on there, because that's the other thing of some of these diets that I followed. You know, you spend 5 days traipsing around loads of different shops trying to find the ingredients, and then you have no energy to actually get on and cook these ridiculous recipes. Your recipes were just so easy to follow. They were delicious. They were filling, and it was just all there. It was just all there, planned out. I realised I'd not been drinking nearly enough water in the past, and I just literally from day one started feeling so much better.
Amazing. So that leads me on. You said you felt so much better. Tell me about the results you got from the 5 day challenge.
Wow. Just this momentum of energy that built up over the 5 days was amazing. Connecting with the other women in the group, sharing stories, sharing experiences. The night that we got to have our chocolate was just a fantastic night. It was brilliant. And to be honest, at that point, I wasn't, I was never hungry, never felt hungry at all on the plan. And I was like, do you know what? I could take this or leave it, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because, I appreciate and realize from that it was the whole restrictiveness before then leads to cravings. And that was my biggest downfall. Obviously, having been through pregnancy, I knew all about cravings from that. Had a really, really not a great pregnancy, which has then had a kick-on effect into how I eat. And I was very, very unstructured in my eating, craving really high calorie food and junk food, basically. And I needed something that would just set me on the right path.
Yeah, completely understand. And did you lose any weight during the challenge, Michelle?
I did. But the other fantastic thing, I lost 5 pounds and started it on the Saturday, and that was by the Tuesday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, literally 4 days, and I'd lost 5 pounds. But the other great thing that came from that was, it didn't really matter. I mean, I was over the moon, obviously, over the moon to have lost 4 pounds, which, had never happened before. But it was that mindset that I got from the workshops and from the lives that you were doing about it. It was more than just the number on the scales. It was how I was feeling too, and that was really, really important to me. So, you know, if the number doesn't change, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that now, because I understand the science behind it, because I know there's lots of other factors coming into play. It isn't because I've been naughty or done something wrong and so I'll just jack it all in and start again on Monday. It's just, you know, just be consistent. That's what I took from it, and that it will, you know, it works. It does work, and there's other things coming into play if the scale doesn't move. And at the end of the day, if I feel better, then that's the big bonus.
That is huge. So, how does that differ from the mindset you had before the challenge and the things you'd done before the challenge?
The things I've done before would be 3 days of being so restricted that by the fourth day, I was literally wanting to eat all my little boys' snacks and food and everything else. um, and so the big change has been that I haven't felt hungry. I haven't felt denied anything. I haven't wanted to just go to bed. I've not felt headachy, sick, or anything like that. I haven't needed to go out and buy any special food preparation things or supplements or magic powders and pills that are claimed to do this, that, and the other. It's just, it's sensible. It's science, you know, it makes sense. And I've always gone for the miracle option before, you know, the magic potion type fast track to weight loss. But, you know, the weight that I put on since having my son happened over 2 years. It is not going to shift in 2 days. It's not going to shift in 2 weeks. And you need something that's sustainable, and you need something that's healthy. And I wasn't healthy before. I was not healthy. It was all about the short-term gains and then literally piling it on and some more after that.
Wow, thank you for being so open and honest and for sharing that with the ladies. I think so many women are going to resonate with so many of the points that you say, you know, jumping from diet to diet, chasing those quick fixes, but actually realizing this isn't sustainable, it isn't healthy, it doesn't fit in with the way I want to live my life, and it leaves me feeling deprived and ending up binging. I'm sure so many people can relate to that cycle. So talk me through, I guess, what was the biggest part for you in the challenge? Because there's different elements. There's, like, you know, the recipes and the food plan. There's the daily accountability tasks. There's the support and motivation and knowledge on the lives. And then there's the workshop. What was it for you that really helped to, I guess, solidify the system and allow you to believe that it's more mindset and it's about sustainability than quick results and quick wins?
In all honesty, I think it's because of all of those things working together. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, oh, you know, that's what you're expected to say. Honestly, if it was just the recipes, I'd have done the recipes for 3 days and then binned them off probably. If it was just the motivation, it would have just been there. And I'd have got to a point again after a few days. I have a very short attention span. After a few days, I'd have gone, oh, something else has come up. You know, the accountability was great, and I do need that in my life, and I know that I need that in my life, because it's very easy for me to say, oh, do you know what, it doesn't matter today, or oh, this is far more important than me. It's more important that I do this for work, or it's more important that I do this for my son, rather than thinking, hey, you know, you are allowed to do this for yourself. This is about having some time for you. And it was just getting out of that cycle, I think, as well. All of those things worked together for me to get me out of that cycle of not sleeping properly, being there for everybody else, caffeinating during the day to then switch off with the wine at night time. And it was just I just really got myself, it broke that cycle. It really, really did. And it wasn't just one thing in particular. I love the recipes. It's great. I love the meal prepping. It really helps me to be organized. I don't have to worry about, you know, what's for tea tonight. It's just there and it works. it's all of it together. It was the sharing with the other women on there, hearing other people's successes. It just clicked, just the whole thing together. So I can't honestly say that it was just one particular thing that helped me. It was all of those things together.
I love it. I love the honesty there.
And
And
I do think that's what's so different about this plan compared to other things that I've done before, because that was either just recipes or just exercise.
mhm.
And this is like the full wraparound package, the care, the understanding, the motivation, it's all there.
All layered on top of each
Yeah.
other, right? And at the end of the challenge, we do the graduation workshop, which is the grand finale where we all come together in a webinar style and I do a presentation. Without giving too much away, Michelle, do you mind sharing with the ladies why it is integral to long-term success to actually show up and attend that workshop?
Yeah, I love that workshop. It was brilliant. I don't really want to say too much about it, but there was just so many moments where I went, oh my God, I've been doing that. Or, wow, yeah, that makes so much sense. Why has no one ever said that before to me? And, and you can see from the other women who were in the workshop as well, what was going on in the chat. It was all these moments. There was a lot of honesty there. There was a lot of women opening up in the chat sections. It was so much energy that was being generated, and it was just this massive sense of, this is achievable. This is, this is scientific. I'm not going to give too much away, but it's the science behind it that really, and I've read a lot on nutrition and things like that before. I know about psychology. I did a psychology degree, but just because I've done a psychology degree doesn't mean that I can do this on my own. I can't do this on my own. I need the support of everybody else there. And in that workshop, it really just hit me. My God, woman, stop trying to be so bloody independent and just admit that you need some help here. So I had quite a few light bulb moments in that workshop. Definitely looking back at myself over the last 20 years of how I dealt with stress and how I'd dealt with my own body issues, and quite a few realizations about how I now feel about myself, having had a baby, having been, I'm now 45. There's a whole other load of, biological stuff going on with me now, and a fad diet and living in the gym is not going to fix this now. It needs to be something healthy, something that's going to work long term.
Wow, thank you for that. And I'm so sure that so many women will be resonating with that independence part, because everybody here is a high performer in their own right. They've achieved many, many things in life, and it's almost as if like health becomes elusive. It's like, well, what do we do first, and then next, and then next, and like, how do we put all of that together? Like, how do we be consistent with the nutrition, and how do we deal with stress, and what about comfort eating and cravings and sleep and hydration? And it just feels like there's so much going on. I'm sure you can relate to that, Michelle. And what I wanted to touch on as well, or just ask you, is the ladies who are watching this just now and they're considering joining the challenge, or maybe they've joined already and they're kind of on the fence about whether they take part. They're in this big Facebook group with lots of people they don't know, and they're like, not sure if this is for me. What advice would you give them?
Get involved. Definitely. You'll get so much more out of it if you're actually involved. I think one of the first things, the first accountability task, put your picture up, introduce yourself, say a little bit about yourself. I did that, and it was, I talked about things there. I felt safe talking about, my experiences, about how my pregnancy had impacted on the place that I was at now. And there were other women there who were commenting on my posts, and I just felt this massive sense of community. Watch the lives. If you have to, I had to watch pretty much every single one on replay, but watch them, get involved in them, listen, and just, it will help you. It will definitely help you. You will learn so much from it. And it will shatter some of those myths, misconceptions as well that I held, that certain things like only if you're doing weightlifting or serious athleticism do you need to be having protein powder and that kind of thing, or protein yogurts. I'd steered clear of protein yogurts for years and years and years. My God, it's the best thing in the afternoon ever now. I used to be reaching for chocolate, coffee, goodness knows what at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now that protein yogurt, oh my days, that sees me through. I power through my afternoon now, and I would never have touched that if it hadn't have been for the plan. So it's those misconceptions that it really helped get rid of those for me.
That is so wonderful to hear that. And it is a safe community. It's a closed group. It's a private Facebook group. Nobody else outside the challenge can see what's going on. We moderate the group. There's me, and we have a team of coaches that make sure that nobody is posting anything that's irrelevant or harmful. And we vet everybody who comes in. We check through their Facebook profile, and we either allow or we disallow them to make sure that you ladies are in a safe environment. And the other part to touch on, I think, is really important is, yes, all the lives are available on replay. We know you're busy. We only work with women who are busy. If you weren't busy, you'd have done this by now. It would be easy. But sometimes it feels like the walls are closing in. And what we want to do is we want to be able to stop those walls and create space and time for you to take care of your health and your lifestyle. So in terms of the challenge time commitment on a daily basis, probably works out around maybe 5-10 minutes for the Facebook Live, and then maybe 5-10 minutes to do your accountability task. Would that be right, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, if you can dip in and out of it, it was so nice seeing people's stories coming up on Facebook, seeing people's meal prep. That was so, you know, like thinking, oh, right, I'm going to get it done now. Yeah, I'm you know, that's brilliant. Oh, yeah, I can see how they've done that, or talking about the recipes and things. It was great. So you need to it's not a huge time commitment, but I got a lot of energy and motivation and inspiration from actually putting that extra time in myself. And I made myself find the time each day to do that. It's 5 days, you know, you're allowed to have an hour to yourself over 5 days. You are totally allowed to do that. It would be good for you to do that if you're not doing it already. And I certainly wasn't doing that before. And yeah, compared to a lot of stuff that's on Facebook, this will really help you.
Have to have a little giggle at that. Call it the University of Facebook, or Instagram Academy is the other one. You know, if you've got a Facebook profile, then suddenly you're a credible resource. But that's a really big thing you touched on. This is the last point I'm really going to talk about. But community is integral to results, because we motivate each other. And a lot of the women in the group are givers. They're really great at looking after other people. They're really great at looking after their significant others or their kids if they have them, or sometimes they work in giving professions: doctors, teachers, nurses, midwives, social workers, managers. And when we're so good at giving to other people, we're not so good at giving to ourselves, and outsourcing motivation or being motivated in teams works really well. We've just had a medical student who's done her research project with us. She is a final year student. She finishes her medical degree in September, so she's going to be a doctor this year, which is super exciting. And her project was all about health behaviors before and after coaching, and that was one-to-one coaching with us. But one of the big things she wrote about was community. And she pulled all the health psychology papers around community and the positive impact on the way we live our lives and our lifestyle and health behaviors. And it was phenomenal to see it from a research point. And it's amazing to hear it from you, Michelle, from the consumer aspect. So that's huge. So I hope that you do join the challenge. I hope that when you do join it, that it exceeds your expectations. And if you ever need anything, you know, can reach out to me personally. Thank you, ladies, so much for watching. And thank you so much, Michelle, for being part of this and sharing your story.
Thank you.